So apparently, the last time the Dallas Cowboys beat the Los Angeles or then San Diego Chargers was in 1990 when Emmitt Smith debuted as a rookie. Well, that trend continues. And if you spell trend, you get TRE. And earlier this week, Trey was interviewed about coming back and being able to play. Let's listen to what he had to say. And did that line up with how he played today as we tap in for the Big One post-game report?
What do you think about your future?
No, not really.
Why not? What or
Because I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can do. I'm not having a crisis of not know how to play football. I know how to play football. I know what I'm capable. I know what skill set I have. So, it's just all about showing it, putting it out there, and making the plays that I've always made.
is this the healthiest you felt in a while?
Yeah.
Can you go with like pre-ACL even, or how
Yeah, I feel really healthy. I feel really healthy this time around. So, I'm just go out there, give it 100% that I can, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we seen what happened today. Let's go, y'all. It's time to tap in. It's your boy B Jizzle live for the post-game report. I told you, win, lose, or tie, Big 3, we're going to be live, but might be just a big one today as, Bob the Cannabis Cowboy been feeling a little under the weather, and my girl Kales with the entails on her birthday behavior this weekend is busy with her club. I don't know. She may tap in here shortly, but until then, it's yours truly to face the music. It is the walk of shame. You know what? First off, I just feel so bad for Cowboy fans that went to the final home game of the 2025 season. I feel for you because I was there in Dallas or Arlington rather last Sunday night when the Cowboys, Dak Prescott didn't even throw for a couple of touchdowns, but he threw for a couple of touchdowns today. But our defense, yeah, that's another story led by Trey with the news of Deron Bland going out with the foot injury for the remainder of the season, and then enters Trey with the chat. How did y'all feel about this game today? Y'all tap in and let me know. It is the post-game report. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. We are live on 3 different channels. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Let's go. It's time to face the music, Cowboy fans. I know a lot of y'all have already checked out. Yeah, you have. If you ain't checked out, I need you to tap in. Let's talk about what we seen on the field out there, y'all, because it wasn't pretty, especially for fans that pay all that money for them tickets for that final home game. My guy, Kevin Martinez, shout out to Kevin Martinez down there in Houston, part of Dallas Cowboys fans, Houston, part of the Baracho Tailgaters. My guy, Kevin Martinez, is a season ticket holder. He said, I'm so glad I got off them tickets for this game today. I ain't mad at you, baby, and I ain't mad at all of the season ticket holders that checked out on this team last week when I was at Sunday Night Football, because it was a lot of Minnesota Vikings fans in the crowd. But guess what? Jerry Jones and them don't care. There's more money in their pocket. 34-17, the Chargers put the belt and the boat to ass of the Cowboys, especially Trayvon Diggs giving up all them yards. Let's go. Let's see who's tapping in with us, baby. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Sterling Seller says this game was a joke the way we played. Thank you. It was a joke for the fans that showed up and paid all that money for this joke of a product on the field today. What up, Top? I see you, baby. Say, yo, Santa. Come and took the game. No, the Grinch took the game from us. The Green Grinch yesterday who canceled us out of the playoffs and won the division back there. It's just all bad for Cowboy fans today, y'all. It's just all bad for us. Jaden Luke says, I'm in a trailing position. All he knows how to do, burns toast. Yeah, you're talking about Trayvon. Yeah, you buying or selling on Trayvon with this team in the offseason? Let me know in the comments below. I told y'all just a few days ago, I'm selling on Trey. He's been too injury prone over the last 2 years. And this season, in this performance, I understand he's been injured in all of the games and all of the things considered. But when you are on the field, partner, like my man Jaden Luke says, burnt toast. Not my words. It's my guy Jalen's words right there. You're right, Top. Russell got a shout out to my guy Tomas, the Charger fan. I know you're super excited. He says, I'm very surprised that the Cowboys didn't get a sack on Herbert. Thank you. That's respect from a Charger fan right there. Former Green Badge here, a Built Different group. Shout out to my guy Tomas. We've been looking a long way ahead to this game. I know you've had the date circled. I've had the date circled. So I appreciate you tapping in here with me on the post-game report. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you keeping it football. But that's straight up respect right there. Yeah. Very surprised the Cowboys, who couldn't get a sack on Herbert. I mean, the Chargers had given up 49 sacks prior to this Cowboys game, y'all. And our defense, even without Quentin Williams, we could get one. And then I was surprised Quentin Williams was out. There was a whole lot of injuries happening in this game, right? Demo went out with a concussion. Other people was going like, what's going on with all these injuries, right? What's going on? He says, I honestly thought it would be a rough going for my Chargers offense. No, man, not against the Cowboys defense. You must not have been watching the other games, Thomas. We make the opposing quarterbacks look like Hall of Famers. That's this Matt Eberflus defense led by Brian Schottenheimer, who decided to move him to the booth. Y'all let me know, did the move of Flus to the booth, did it pay dividends? Let me know in the comments in the below. Did the move of Flus to the booth pay dividends? I don't see what the benefit was, because we got 34 points put on us at home on the final home game of the year where all these fans go to see their team play with pride. They can't even do that. Yes, prayers up to Agent Zero. Shout out to the father out there, Duran Lacey. Yes, we hope everything is okay. We'll hear about that more this week on the practice reports and injury reports that come out, because we had quite a few Cowboys go on the injury report today, did we not? Harry Salcetta says defense needs to be overhauled, starting with the coordinator. Thank you. But guess what? That's Jerry's guy. And I think this whole move by the booth, or moving Flus to the booth, it may have looked like it's Schottenheimer's idea, but that's Jerry floating the idea of, hey, we need to make this happen. And I honestly thought we might come out and play 3 good games and make it look good for Jerry to retain Flus. But this move of Flus to the booth, I don't know how that worked out. But yeah, you're right. Flus got to go, but I don't think he's going to go. You want to know why, Harry? Because that's Jerry's guy. Jerry's the one that went out. Remember when he gave Schottenheimer, delegated to Schottenheimer, empowered Schottenheimer to go out and get this coaching staff. We was all like, yeah. But quietly, Jerry went out there and got the former head coach of the Chicago Bears, which, by the way, looked like a pretty damn good football team. Shout out to Al Harris over there. I know all Cowboys Nation is missing Al Harris. I am too. Because, God, we need some help in the secondary. I don't know what's going on. They moved the coordinator up to the booth, but that's not working. JR says he's selling on Trayvon. Let me know you buying or selling on Trayvon. I mean, $98 million, baby. I mean, some of you and I could have got out there today and probably played Trayvon a little better. Jada Lou says, Diggs' ass need to be gone. Leroy says, ain't nothing to see fire the defensive coordinator. Well, let's bring my girl Kales with the intels in. Hear from her. What was your thoughts after that game?
I really have no thoughts. Like, we're playing for draft. We're playing for draft picks right now. Just draft positioning.
And speaking of that, how many current draft picks do the Cowboys have? Because we don't even need to talk about this game or the next 2 games. Let's just start. We might as well just kick out position predictions here today. How many draft picks do the Cowboys have going into this season?
Well, right now, what I know as far as the first round, well, we'll see after there's a Monday night game. So once the Monday night game is over, then we'll have the projected. But right now, if the season were to have ended last week, we was at 14-23 via Green Bay.
Man, I just feel so bad for those fans. Kales, I know you've been to games before too. The final home game of the season. I mean, I was there for the final night game, and had to carry an L, and now all of the fans of Cowboys Nation got to carry an L home today. Anyway, how was everything out there with your club? I know your birthday's about to pop off tomorrow.
Yeah, my birthday is tomorrow. Everything's good. I'm chilling now with one of them. And we just got finished watching the game. I mean, it's nice out here. It's not as cold as I, would have thought it would have been, but it's a nice little Sunday and everything.
So with those 2 first-round draft picks, Kels, who are you thinking of? Not personally, but which position group do you think we go after now with these 2 first-round picks going into Pittsburgh next year for the draft?
Okay, so we talked a little bit about it on OAT yesterday when I did the news and the notes. This year's draft is very heavily saturated with defensive line. And if you saw how a lot of teams was moving during the trade deadline, a lot of them were trading picks for the 2027 draft because that's the draft to watch. Because everybody's coming out. Every position group is coming out the 2027 draft. But this year's draft is very heavily saturated with a lot of defensive line. I did drop some of the prospects that the Cowboys were looking at that was playing in the games that was on Friday and Saturday. I think who played? Texas, Alabama, Ohio, and Oklahoma, I believe. Yeah, Oklahoma. So there were some players that's already on their draft prospect board. But just knowing the way that the Cowboys move, my gut is telling me as much as we need D-line, something on the defense, my gut is telling me we're going to go back and draft something in the offense. And we have invested so much money in drafting on the O-line, and we have not seen a return on investment.
Yeah, don't nobody want to bring up Mozzie Smith. But anyway, Sterling is saying linebacker. I'm with you. Let us know in the comments below. Kels is giving us who she thinks we should go after. I'm just saying defense, anybody at this point. I mean, Deron Bland out with this surgery thing, and now, Trayvon with his performance today. I mean, is it looking any bright? I mean, what are we going to totally revamp this secondary, Kels? What are your thoughts now with these final 2 games going into this drafting and looking at next season now with this secondary?
I'm sorry, say that again. You was coming in and out.
I said with these 2 draft picks, I mean, which way are you thinking we need to go with this secondary? Do we got to draft, corner right off the bat? I mean, we just paid Deron Bland. We've already paid Trayvon Diggs, all that money, and we're not getting any return on that investment. Do you think the Cowboys go after more cornerbacks in this draft?
I don't know. Like, I'm flip-flopping. I'm like, we still need someone like a defensive end. Then 1 minute I'm like, maybe a D, a tackle. Then I'm like, linebacker. But then I switch. I'm like, we need something. I honestly can't say which one, but I know in every position on defense, linebacker, edge, tackle, safety, corner. We need help in all those positions on defense. But like I said, knowing the way that the Cowboys have moved in the past, I wouldn't be surprised if they go O-line and get some like a right tackle. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely, I think, got more needs than we got draft picks currently. Y'all let us know in the comments below. If you're going to tap in down there, it's interactive. Let us know. You know what I mean? We're not up here boo-hooing. We still coming to you live, even though our team has been eliminated officially. We are still officially here, the Big 3. Maybe it's 2, maybe it's 1, but it's going to be some of us. If I can get my computer plugged in there before I lose power. I got all kind of technical difficulties going on, but we're live here with you. So let us know, tap in down there below, and let us know which position group do you think the Cowboys have need number 1 right now. Because I'm saying cornerback. I know we just paid Deron. I know we just paid Trayvon, but I mean, now Deron can't stay healthy. You know, is there any way we're going to deal Trayvon at the end of the season? What's your thoughts now, Kel?
Okay, so the Trayvon Diggs thing, what a lot of people don't realize is it's very tricky because you have to look how his contract is set up. Now, granted, he won't have no money as far as next season because all his guaranteed money is all right, see you. All his money is guaranteed. His contract is set up just like Ezekiel Elliott's was, but his was a little bit better, was better organized than Zeke's contract was. So the thing is, if we trade him, who's going to take that contract over? Because he's projected to get, I think, $12 million in 12-25, and then 2026 he gets close to $7 million. So if they cut him, then we will have dead space money. So here's the thing. Right now, the Cowboys have a little over $23 million in the bank. You have to also take in the fact that going into the draft, you need $15 million in your draft bank.
To pay the rookies.
To pay the rookies. And then you still need some money left over. Well, we're going to get money from this year's NFL budget. So the Cowboys is projected to get close to $65-70 million for salary cap. In addition.
Whoa.
So with that, so you have that.
Hold on with that, Kels, right quick. Let me just clarify something, because there's a lot of fake news going around about the Cowboys are in cap hill, like we owe money. Like you're saying that we got this potential like 90,000 looks like laying around going into next year with this NFL
going into
budget.
Next year. Yeah.
Wow.
I saw that, and I'm trying to figure out where they get that from, because one, we have nobody right now. We have nobody on the books for dead money.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. And then even we got restructures that may come in line too that should help that out going into next season, right?
Right. So here's the thing: we may not have to activate that restructuring clause.
Oh, okay, because we already got enough money, huh? So it keeps everybody paid.
Right. So this $23 million that is sitting in the bank now from this year's season will roll over to next season, and it will add on to that. Now, when it comes to players being paid, we have to pay Aubrey. We have to pay Pickens. That's why I have not jumped on the bandwagon of getting a George Pickens jersey like I've been seeing a lot of people.
Because we don't know if he's going to be here next year. He might have a whole new team.
Be here. Exactly. Yeah. And then
but do you see maybe the Cowboys maybe franchising George Pickens though? I mean, what's wide receiver one money? I mean, if we got that 90 million, do you see us maybe paying wide receiver money one to George, or would they franchise tag?
They will more than likely. I'm hoping that they could franchise tag him, because I'm hoping we could franchise tag him.
I'm gonna go look and see what that is right now for the value of a wide receiver currently, because I've been hearing that too as well.
Well, you have to look for him as far as him. So what he will get. So if they franchise tag him, I have to see how much he will get a year, but he's not going to get like a wide receiver one. He's not going to get like a CeeDee Lamb type of contract. So his contract will really not break the bank.
Okay, Jamar Chase is highest paid, $40 million. Jefferson, $35 million. CeeDee Lamb at $34 million. So there's the top dudes right there. The league's rising salary cap at 279.2 million for 2025. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But I just wanted to ask you that because I've been hearing franchise tag around George Pickens. But y'all got questions for my girl Kales with the contracts or the draft picks? Let us know because we ain't got nothing but to look forward to next year. Kind of feels good. My budget can relax. I don't have to worry about going to any Cowboy games with the current state of our team.
Yeah. So with the so we have to pay butter. In my opinion, this is what I'm thinking is going to happen. I could see them more than likely franchise tagging butter.
Yeah, because it's lower value for kickers. That would be a smart move.
But not only that, but Bones Fossil is going to be after him.
Well, let me ask you this question: who is Butter's agent?
Todd France.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say. Oh, that's right. I was gonna say David Mulugeta. I was like, it's game over. It ain't happening. But okay, no. Todd France. That could go. That's a double-edged sword because he did get Dak Prescott that big contract. He went round and round with Jerry. This guy is the best kicker in the league. You think they'd be willing to take on that between France and Butter for the franchise?
They could start franchise tagging players as early as February 28th.
No, I understand, but they don't have no say-so in that. Does the agent and player have to agree to that? I'm just saying, would you think that they would agree to that if that's what the Cowboys' direction tried to go with them?
The team could activate either the exclusive or the non-exclusive franchise tag. We need to see which one they're going to use. It's up to the player, not so much the agent. It's much up to the player to sign to say, yes, I'm a play on the franchise tag. Now, if there is not a deal worked by July 15th, that's a standard date for everything, July 15th. If a contract is not worked out by the July 15th deadline, then players on the franchise tag will play on the franchise tag.
There you have it. So that's going to be interesting. And like you said, we got Pickens on the fence. So that means they'd have to, and that's his agent is Mulugeta. They're going to have to figure something out whether or not we're going to pay him. I was surprised. It looked like he made a lot more effort on that touchdown grab today, Kels, than he did in that Detroit game. I don't know what's your thoughts on. I'm not trying to bring up the past, but what do you think about George Pickens' effort today in this game?
He was good, but again, one thing what I noticed with this game, like I did with the Vikings and the Lions game, yes, they were more visible this year, but they still disappeared them a lot. Like what I was saying in the names in the game news and note report and OAT, that they have to get Pickens involved. You can't flush them out. So that was my only issue.
Well, he was clearly involved today. 4 receptions, 86 yards, a touchdown on 5 targets. He had more than Lamb. CD today did. Let me refresh these stats and make sure these are up to date because I know how this thing likes to do. Okay, never mind. 7 catches, 130 yards on 9 targets for Pickens. Ooh, I was way off there. Thanks for the refresh. 6 catches, 51 yards for CD Lamb. So clearly Pickens was visible today. And I was surprised. I thought maybe Lamb was going to have a better game because I know he's on that 1-year rental and we got these contracts that are coming up. But it's good to hear that we're on the plus side of the cap. We got this extra money coming in. We got these 2 first-round picks. Hell, Kels, this might look like the best position we've been in going to any one particular draft, and I don't know how many years.
It is. And Wayne Clark, I'm not sure if you're familiar. Dak already has a restructuring clause built in his contract, just like CD Lamb. And what I said earlier on this post game, that we may not have to use those restructuring clauses based on the money that we're getting for next year's salary cap and whatever is rolling over in this year's salary cap.
Yeah, you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention because even sometimes Kale shares and I forget and I don't pay attention. So you got to pay attention in the comments. I knew that's why I asked Kale, what potential restructures do we got coming? And then that's when she said, hey, we may not have to use the restructures because they're already built into those contracts. So for everybody running around talking about Tom Brady, it was just more publicized, but it's the same thing.
And the thing is, Brady never restructured his contract. Brady has always played on a rookie year salary because whatever money he could have been making with the Patriots, that money went to resourcing for players that is needed. That's why ever since to this day, the Patriots has always had a larger salary cap.
They only pay attention when it's convenient, Kels. My guy Tomas says, happy birthday. What you got planned for the birthday? Your birthday's tomorrow, but I know this is your birthday weekend.
Yes. Thinking about going to maybe Cheesecake Factory, give me a slice of cheesecake. I don't know.
That sounds good. I like me some
We'll
Cheesecake
see.
Factory. What's your favorite thing to order at Cheesecake Factory besides cheesecake?
As far as food, okay, I don't know if you familiar if they still have it. I gotta look at the menu because I haven't been in a couple of
Yeah,
years.
it's been a while since I've been there too. I normally get a salad or something like that. They got a really nice menu over there. You got me, got my taste buds working now. I might have to Uber Eats me some cheesecake, Kels.
So what I used to get for an appetizer, they had, I don't know if you remember it, but the cheeseburger egg rolls.
No, not familiar.
So I would get that for an appetizer, and that's very hearty. Like 2 people could eat off of that. I think it comes like maybe 4 or 5 slices. Well, not slices, but 4 or 5 pieces. And then for my entree, I love a good fettuccine Alfredo.
Oh, there you go.
So I would get.
They do got some good pasta.
Yeah, I would get the shrimp and the Mom, what's that sausage name? Andola sausage.
Oh yeah.
I would get that in the fettuccine Alfredo, and then when it comes to if I decide I want a libation, they got a good Mai Tai that is good. And then for the cheesecake, I like the red velvet cheesecake. I like the s'mores cheesecake, but my favorite is the Oreo cheesecake. And I know they have revamped the Oreo cheesecake over the years. So yeah, that's my go-to for the cheesecake.
Kale's got me getting hungry over here. Shout out to my guy Sterling Sellers. Appreciate the 100 stars. Kale's Wayne says, I pay attention. I'm just saying Dak ain't held up to that 60 million a year, man. What have you done for me lately? Get me a Super Bowl, hell, get me to the playoffs, then I'll pay you.
So here's the thing. Dak, this was one of Dak's best years. I feel bad for him because we wasted a good year when you look at how this team has operated, mainly so on the defense.
I know, healthy, one of the highest rated offenses, and we missed the playoffs. It's incredible.
Yeah. And as far as the $60 million, let's be real, like I said, he's really not getting $60 million. By him restructuring his contract, he is only getting no more a ballpark figure of $30 million. Yeah, I have everything. If not, I'll come back and get it.
Yeah, we want to complain. Let's complain about Deron Bland and all that money he's paid and Trayvon Diggs and all that money he's paid. Because, I mean, Dak holding up to his end with one of the highest ranked offenses this season. So, yeah, we can say he can't win the big games, but.
Yeah, so the thing is, so he's only getting $30 million a year because of the restructuring clause in his contract. Because for preparing for this season, they restructured it, and that freed up $30 million
Take
on
that,
this
Tom Brady.
on this year's contract. So so he only getting $30 million. But when he decides to retire, that's when the rest of the money that was restructured will kick back in, and he will get whatever money on the back end.
Drake's tapping in. He a fan just like us out there in the Navajo Nation. He says, Kels, what up with Williams deal?
Okay,
Which Williams
I'm need for because we got like 11 million Williams on the
which
team.
Williams are you talking about, Drake, with the fan like us, baby? Let us know. We got you, Wayne. We know everybody wants to vent. But that's the reason why you got to pay attention here, because my girl Kels is dropping that intel, y'all. But let us know, Drake, which Williams are you specifically talking about? If you got a question for my girl Kels, if you want to vent like my guy, Wayne Clark, shout out to Wayne Clark, former Green Bay supporter here. We get it. Everybody's upset. Hell, I've been upset. I was upset last week when I left. Hell, I'm more upset this week. But I'm kind of happy. If that makes sense. I'm going to do my laundry. I'm going to clean my bathroom. I'm going to do some shit around the house today instead of doing content because the Cowboys lost.
Well, I don't have that luxury because I'm already in draft mode. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Speaking of which, I plan on getting out to the combine this season.
I want to try to get there. I want to try. I want to try. But the as far as the did he ever come RB1 Javonte? Yeah, he's up for
Javonte.
That's the other one. It's three major players that we have to play. It's Javonte, Pickens, and Aubrey. I know it's some more, but we'll
the big three.
Yeah, but those the big three that we have to take care of.
So at the end of the game, Kels, we seen Joe Milton come in, and I mean, with the remaining two games, I mean, we play on Christmas. I mean, could we see a Dak-led offense to start on Christmas Day with Joe Milton now?
So this is what I said on the live yesterday. I get what Shadi is saying as far as he want to win. He's going to leave QB1 in and all this other stuff. But when it comes, we have the next two games are away games.
Yep, we got Christmas Day in the nation's capital. That's out there in your neck of the woods, Kels.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I won't be here. I'll be in Richmond.
Oh, okay.
For Christmas, and I'm trying to work it out where I can go to the hotel on Christmas Eve to see them when they get here. But I do all my last minute running around on Christmas Eve, so I'm not even gonna make that promise. But Northwest Field is just as bad as MetLife Field.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's where all those injuries have happened.
Exactly.
Didn't Scatterbo and both Malik Neighbors get injured at MetLife Field this season?
Yep.
Ouch.
So I'm gonna take
this. I think we need to start Joe Milton and the other guys.
Yeah, I had to take my headphones out because they was starting to irritate me.
Yeah, you giving me bad vibes now with that, Kels. I forgot about that turf over there at MetLife Stadium. I mean, we might need to look at playing the second round, guys.
That's what I said. That's what I said on the live last night, that I would not put my starters in for the Christmas game and the last game because I don't want to subject them to any injuries on that field that will prolong it. God forbid if it is an injury that will prolong them from coming back to us next season.
Because we had quite a few players go out today. Quentin Williams, somehow he was out with concussion in the neck. And then we seen Demo go out with some concussion-like stuff. And then Flanoy got pulled out too. And I'm like, damn.
And that game should have been, we've left so many points on that board. And
Tyler Smith getting a damn penalty. Yeah.
And that would have been Flanoy's
second touchdown
of the game. So I feel bad that happened. But Craig said they want the passing title. Dak will play it out. I understand that, but we're talking about the field conditions.
Which passing title? I mean, he just eclipsed 4,000 today, I thought.
Right.
He already passed Tony Romo. Which title
Yeah.
is he talking about? Talking about for the season? Nah, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
Yeah,
if
I wouldn't continue to start
if
Dak if that's the case.
if you were playing two other teams that have better field position, I will be all for it. But we're talking about Northwest Stadium and MetLife Field, which are two of the stadiums that have the worst field that will take you out. And if we're talking about, like I said, players, like starting players, they won't, like, for example, Michael Parsons, he probably won't be able to play next season
What?
because it takes nearly like a year and a half
Damn.
to
Well,
recover.
the way he's young and all that, you
That
always
that
hear about
has
everybody coming back super fast, like Trayvon Diggs. I don't know.
that has no, and you see what happened with Trayvon Diggs. He ended up having another injury on that ACL.
Yeah. I'm just upset that Trayvon said he knows what he's capable of, and out there today he was still getting burnt. But anyway, it's a whole nother kick. Yeah, we got a lot of money invested in this defense. It looked like on this draft we're going to probably have to go back to investing in this defense as we've got some offensive players to pay coming up this season. I guess the future does look bright because all that money in the bank, those picks, and maybe if we set our starters to risk some, injury over these next two games, y'all let us know in the comments below. I mean, at this point, knowing what Kale's just said, I'm like, sit the starters.
Yeah. Now, as far as with Deron Bland, because now we're on Built Different Group, and I know some people probably are not in OAT, but one of the things I did mention in OAT with Deron Bland's injury, you remember BG during that preseason game that he had that foot injury, the stress fracture,
Who was that?
Deron Bland.
Yeah.
When they was preparing for that preseason game, I think it was the last preseason game.
Yeah, we got news right before that he was out or something like that.
Right. So when they did the surgery, they put a screw in his foot to keep it intact. And he plays a position that you need your feet at all times. And this injury is like not a season ending, but it's a career ending injury. So
this had been nagging since the preseason, and now it's finally, and they're like, all right, 3 games ago, go get it done.
He had the surgery, or he's getting ready to have the surgery, because they have to replace the screw that is in his foot. That's what's been giving Deron Bland problems this season, is the screw. So they have to do the surgery on that. And with Tyler Guyton's injury, he has a high ankle sprain right now, but it is aggravating a previous injury that he has had on that foot, which is prolonging the healing of his high ankle sprain.
Well, I know I'll be interested in seeing the injury report and the practice report you shared this week as it's grown. I know there was a lot of people on there this week. I know you went over your news and notes and everything in OAT on Saturday. I appreciate you doing that. Bob's a little under the weather. He couldn't even join us for the post-game show, but you got Kels and BG here for the post-game show now. We got the last 2 games, and, man, at this point, like some of y'all are saying, I'm saying, knowing that Kels has shared that these 2 turfs that we're getting ready to go visit in her backyard, and then also at MetLife Field, I'm like, sit the starters, because God forbid, because that's just that fine line. If we go out and we play the starters and then somebody happens to get injured, it's like, why did we play the starter? We should have benched him.
I'm looking, so like I said, Northfield Stadium is literally 15 minutes from where I live. So here's the weather for Christmas Day here. And this is why don't put the starters out. They're calling for a rain snow mix.
Nasty weather.
All day Thursday. I would not put Dak out there.
A white Christmas, huh?
Well, it ain't gonna be a white Christmas. It's more so probably gonna be like flurries, but it's
Right.
but it's going to be more so like
Yeah.
anything.
I don't like how that's shaping up at all whatsoever, because the way Joe Milton came in and it looked like he was making a play and then he dropped the baby. I'm just like, oh man, maybe now might be a good time, because we heard a lot of folks. I mean, the fan base is kind of split about starting and sitting, and I was at the same thing. But when Shotty's coming out saying, hey, we want to win, I'm going to start Dak. Okay. But then we go out there and we had that kind of performance on the final home game. I felt really bad for the fans that went today to leave for the final time this season in that fashion. It's just sour taste in our mouth.
But one thing I did say, like with the game news and the game news and notes, that the Chargers is the best complete unit that the Cowboys would have faced. And if you saw how that defense was, like, they are sound. The communication is good, and they play as one. And I dropped some very key names that's on that defensive line in OAT. And one thing about them, like, their pass rush is insane. And you saw that pass rush coming from Javonte Williams, like, no questions asked. So the way that they operate is to get, to try to get us, you have to either go through us or around us.
You got the Charger fan tapping in. He disagrees with you, Kels. He said, no, we not. Our O-line is trash. But hey,
I say your D-line.
I will say this, though. I'm surprised, and Tomas brought this up. Shout out to Tomas, a Charger fan. Congrats, Boat Gang, on the win. Y'all put Boat and Belt to ass on the Cowboys today. But I was surprised that Justin Herbert had been sacked 49 times, and the Cowboys, we couldn't even get a measly one sack on Herbert today. As you know, the Charger fan is saying their line is trash.
Nah, they're sound. But I was talking about the defense.
No, I know. I thought it was funny, and I wanted to interject that here too as well with our guy Tomas. I know you were talking about the defense, but yeah, I was surprised that, because you weren't with us on the intro when we tapped in. Tomas has shared, that he was surprised as a Charger fan that he wasn't even sacked.
No. Well, hold on. Let me. I still have my news and notes. So when it comes to,
as Kels gets up her news and notes, I want to give a quick shout out right quick. Shout out to my guy Lane Bowman, Smithson Valley High School tight end coach. I went to high school with this guy, class of 1992, out of Thrall, Texas. Division I 5A high school state champion, Smithson Valley, near San Antonio down there. So shout out to all of them San Antonio fans. I was down there in San Antonio this past week, or the past couple of weeks, but got to meet up with my guy Lane, had some dinner, and yeah, he had just got a ticket to go to the back-to-back state champion. So they had never won a state championship. They won last year, and then they won this year. So back-to-back state champions for Smithson Valley. They did beat the Lone Star Rangers out of Frisco. They actually shut them out, which they played better. I think Smithson Valley played better than the Cowboys did today. But back to your news and notes, Kels.
So I'ma just cliff note it. So with the Chargers offense, this is a very run heavy foundation that they have. When it comes to now, like I said, their pass pro is shaky, but this will make the Chargers pass pro look like it's the best, there is, because when it comes to our defense, our defense have yet to prove that they can get to the quarterback. So this will make pass pro very serviceable for the Chargers offense. When you look at the Chargers offense, just like their defense, this is the largest O-line that the Cowboys face. When you have, and they're just like the Detroit Lions, where they very heavily utilize a fullback who is Scott Matlock, who is number 44. He comes in at 6'4", 300 pounds, and then they will bring in an additional lineman, Trevor Penning, who is 64, and I saw him a lot on the field, and he comes in at 6 feet 7 inches long. 7 inches high, 325 pounds. And when you look at this O line, like just like how our defense is, when I added up everybody's weight,
Yeah,
this offense that the Cowboys defense face is the largest O line.
that's the most beefed up O line there. Huh?
Yeah,
Pound for pound.
And the lightest weight on that O line is their fullback, who is 300 pounds.
Well, I don't understand if they're that bulky up front. I mean, why they letting Justin Herbert get sacked so many damn times? I mean, did somebody have like 6 or 12? I mean, did they face the Browns and damn Myles Garrett had 10 sacks against them or something like that?
Why Justin Herbert got sacked, because they met up with I mean he's sackable, but still.
Yeah, but still the Cowboys got none.
This is the Cowboys defense that we're talking about. But their defense, their defense is crazy. When you look at their rankings, they're 4th in lowest completion percentage allowed. They're 3rd in yards allowed in passing per game. They're 1st in touchdown to interception ratio. They have allowed 12 touchdowns in passing and 7 interceptions. They're 1st in opposing passer ratings, and they average at 71. They're 5th in sacks, averaging 3 sacks per game. They're 4th in sack percentage, 2nd in interception percentage, and 2nd in offensive total yards per game.
Yeah, but we couldn't get 1 sack on Herbert. Why do you think the Cowboys couldn't get 1 sack against Herbert today, who's sackable?
Like I said, the Cowboys have yet to prove that they could get to a quarterback.
Drake, a fan like us, is tapping back in. He says, when's the last time our defense had an INT run back TD? I think that was Deron Bland. Was it not like earlier in the season?
Yep.
I think it's been like the only pick six. Has it not been?
Yep. And that was against Washington. But wait a minute, did Marquise Bell run one?
No, I think he may have got an interception.
I remember him getting the pick, but I'm trying to remember, did his end up in a pick six?
Well, anyway, you're just tapping in. It is the post-game report. It's your girl Kels, your boy B Jizzle. We're live. We told you win, lose, or tie. We're going to go live. We're talking post-game. If you got questions, we've already talked about draft picks, direction, all kinds of things here. We've been kind of all over the place. It's kind of refreshing to know we don't have to worry about these last 2 games. Who needs to win, how we need to win, who needs to get hurt, who needs to go on the over, who needs to go on the under to make it in the playoffs. I mean, damn, Kels, the NFC East, first division ever to have 3 teams not qualified for the playoffs.
Well, like I said, I didn't have us as far as even looking at playoffs.
No, like, I know, but I'm just saying, all things considered, 3 teams in one division exited the playoffs, and now we got to watch the Eagles do whatever the Eagles are going to do.
Yeah, I don't even think, honestly, I really don't think the Eagles going to make it to the Super Bowl this year.
But with that being said, who you got coming out the NFC then, so we know the Cowboys? It's not our year this year. Who you got this year going to the bowl?
Honestly, the teams I've had, that ain't it.
What you think about the Chicago Green Bay game last night? That was a doozy. Pretty good NFC matchups, especially Seattle and LA this weekend too.
That was a good game. Like, that game did not disappoint. That was a good game. Wayne, I'm not sure about Buffalo, but yeah, I'm seeing the Rams now that I'm seeing the Rams going.
Oh, so you don't got no faith in Sam Darnold, the journeyman up here in Seattle? Boy, they love him. They love some Sam
Nah,
Darnold up here in the Pacific Northwest. Let me tell you,
nah,
he's the greatest thing coming since Russell Wilson.
I don't. Yeah, I don't even have Seattle on my bingo card.
That was a
Now
good game though between the Rams and Seattle. All things
that
considered, they was pretty excited. I could hear them
that
from
was
the
a good
crowd.
game
I'm
too,
40
but
miles away and I could hear the crowd.
yeah, that was a good game. But that Thursday before last, that game with Atlanta and Tampa Bay, that
Oh,
that that was a good game.
I
And
didn't watch it, but I was so mad that Atlanta. I was like, Atlanta. I'm like, Tampa
I
Bay, really?
but I mean, yeah, granted, Atlanta was eliminated, so they didn't have nothing to play for. But besides that, even if they were in the running, that was a good game. Like normally I will probably come in a little bit later on a Thursday night game, or I will dip out at before the Thursday night game ends. But that was a good Thursday game. Um but I really had Baltimore for the AF.
Ooh,
I was like,
damn. Yeah. Everybody was
it's
drunk off that Baltimore purple juice over there.
not only that, but I'm like the way that Baltimore has been playing, they have been consistent. That's one thing I can say. They have been consistent, and I was like, this Baltimore is due. Baltimore is going to go. They just have to figure out what is holding them back. Like, what is their Achilles heel when it comes to them going to the Super Bowl? Because they will either make it to like a divisional or a conference, and and then they won't make it. So they just have to figure out what is that Achilles heel. But now I don't know. I don't know. But now I wasn't expecting for Indianapolis to come out the way that they was coming out. I never had them on my bingo card.
Well,
But
I'm
but
feeling good about the fact that we lost to the Bears the way that they're playing currently now. But
and look, like I said, like I was looking at like on one of the games that the that the TV was on was they played Tampa Bay, right? The Panthers, they played Tampa Bay. Yeah. So who would have thought of these little kitty cats in North Carolina? Who would have thought?
I
But
know
like
where Rico Dowdle's at. It seems like players always go somewhere and do something else. But
right,
I want to address this. I want to address this comment right here. Tay McDonald says, "Miss me with all that Trayvon Diggs bullshit. Eberflus is the biggest problem." Man, shout out to my guy Tay McDonald. Boy, you always be commenting under my subscribe posts and shit. And like I see you always trying to get my attention with your commentary, and I'm glad that you actually tapped in. And I'm actually glad that you brought that up because I'm not going to argue. I want to hear what you seen good out of Trayvon Diggs anytime on the field this season. I'll wait.
I can't think of any time because like I said,
No, this is thank you for answering, but this is for my guy Tay. This is my guy Tay. What has Trayvon done for us lately? Because they can both go. Anyway, Kels, as you were saying.
Well, here's my thing. I can't put a lot of blame on Trayvon Diggs, and this is the reason why I'm saying
Kels, we're not going to take off a Trey. What has Trey done this season on the field, though?
Let's not put words in my mouth.
I'm not putting words on your mouth. I'm just saying, has Trayvon done anything good? I asked you the same question. And you're saying we can't blame Trey, but Trey is responsible for Trey.
But let me finish before you cut me off. I can't put all of the blame on Trayvon Diggs for the simple fact that the front office knew that you have a room that is full of man coverage and press coverage.
What did they run today?
Let me finish. Cornerbacks, okay? Jerry wanted to bring back Flus. who is a heavily zone defense. Now, granted, I liked what Flus did when he was previously with us and everything. I like what he did. But then I thought about it. I said, oh, I don't think this is going to work because of the way that personnel for DBs is set up. You have two high shell.
So you're trying to get Trey a pass? Is that what I hear you saying?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I don't think that Flus was the right coordinator.
But still, though, Trey's play. Trey is his player. He's responsible for his play. Trey has had more bad plays than good plays.
But he does not play zone.
It doesn't matter. What did they run today? What did they run today?
That was zone. They didn't do man. They played zone. So you have, like I said,
So we got Eberflus scheming a player out of the team because we don't play to his strength. I don't get what you're trying to say. You want to cut him a pass, but there's no accountability.
I'm not cutting him a pass. Listen to what
I'm confused. Y'all let us know in the comments below. I'm confused.
I don't know why you're confused. What I'm saying is you cannot expect. I could see if Diggs was a hybrid, like the Tomas. I just threw my phone somewhere, but Chargers have 3 cornerbacks on their roster that are hybrid. They play zone, they play press, and they play man. So this is what I'm saying. Flus knows the type of room that he has. He only has one cornerback that is zone, and that is Savon Revel. Savon Revel is really not healed from that ACL surgery that he had back in college that set him out.
Shame on the Dallas Cowboys doctors.
So, no, it's not. It's not the doctors.
Why would we have players out there that aren't healthy?
But like I said, it takes anywhere from a year to 2 years for an ACL to fully heal, depending on the severity of that ACL injury that a player has happened. So, what I've seen with some of these defensive coaches, like I said, if people been listening to me on these games and notes, just like I said with Brian Flores, Kevin Shepardson, and some other ones, they look at their roster. If they know that they play zone and they play man, but they're getting ready to come up on a team that plays one of the other coverages, they will design and tailor their plays based on the teams that they will be meeting up and matching with. That's the one thing that Flus does not do. So, by us not having a multitude of defensive backs that can play man, press, and zone, he does not tailor it. And so he's limited too. So you only have one zone cornerback. That one zone cornerback cannot cover the full length of a field that he is on. So you're asking him too much. So with this year's draft, let's say if Flus stays, with this year's draft, you have to draft some zone DBs.
It just sounds like, and I agree to disagree, it just sounds like a bunch of excuses. We got to do all that shit to get one player to play good. Like, I don't understand. We paid a guy $98 million or however much it was, and then the guy's been hurt, and then when we play him on the field, he's toast, and it's because the scheme we're running.
It's not so BG, let me ask you this. You're a zone defensive end. I play man and I play press. That's not my wheelhouse. You expect me to go out on the field and play zone, and that's not my wheelhouse?
So let me ask you this question. If Deron Bland did not exit the chat with his foot injury that's been lingering around since preseason, as you shared with us. Do you think Trayvon would have even played today if Deron had been healthy?
No, because like I said, when it comes to field stuff, I can't put a lot of the blame on Trayvon Diggs. But when it comes to a whole lot of
I'm blaming him for his play.
let
I
me
mean, I don't know about
finish.
the team and all the other stuff.
Let me finish. Trayvon is out the door basically for the same reason that Micah Parsons went out the door. That put, when everything was going on with Micah Parsons, that put Trayvon Diggs on notice. It's not that he has an issue with the coaching staff. There's a lot of lingering issues that's going on in the front office.
So let me ask you this question: is it White Cotton's defense to take over? Why was Eberflus, who can't coach a team on the field, moved to a booth that looked like he coaches worse with his unit from off the field?
So, like I said on the live in OAT, by Aaron White Cotton going to the field, this was almost like a dress interview for him to be the next defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys.
34 points.
If they decide to move from Matt Eberflus.
He'll probably look better against Washington and New York, but man, not a good debut for 34 points. I thought that too. I'm like, why the hell are they moving Eberflus? And here comes Shotty talking about communication and all of that, which, Sterling taps in, says in the secondary, communication is so important.
It is.
Is that some of the lingering effects? Is the lack of communication in this defensive unit?
But Sterling, let's look back at some of the games we've played with, even though it's a juggernaut for us. Look at how the second level of the defense, which is the linebacker, the middle linebacker section. So when you look at the second level of the defensive line, who basically communicates with the interior D lineman and the secondary. Look at Arizona. Hell, look at Chicago. Look at Detroit and Minnesota. Even with the Thanksgiving game against Kansas City Chiefs, look how that whole entire defensive unit communicated with each other. And they also disguised, and that's what I'm saying, like Flus should have done more game tailoring and planning on some of these teams, because look at how some of these teams that we have played, they have disguised a lot of their players. So like and that's one thing I noticed too, like their pre-snap is totally different from their post-snap. So, and it confuses the offensive line. So I agree with Sterling on that. Communication is key. And it's been a lot of miscommunication with our defense.
Well, we know Schottenheimer went out and handpicked all his coaches like White Cotton and those types, but Jerry actually went out and handpicked Matt Eberflus. Yeah. I mean, if he puts up this kind of performance the next two games in the booth or wherever, I don't know, on Jerry's yacht, on Zoom, I don't know. Do you think he's going to be returning next year as Jerry's guy, or do we go out and get a new coordinator or promote a guy?
That's what I'm saying. So one thing I did mention in OAT Live, everybody's contract, depending on how the contract is set up, throughout, and this is throughout the league. This is not only in the Cowboys. Contracts expire on January 8th. One thing about Flus' contract, he doesn't have a longevity contract. So that's basically saying like he might more than likely be on a 1-year deal. And then they will renew him based on the performance level of this season. So by him not having like a contract like Schottenheimer. I think Schottenheimer has a 4 or 5 year deal. Flus does not have that. So if he has a 1 year deal, this may be his last year. That's why I was saying that by Aaron Cotton, White Cotton, being on the field this time, maybe this is almost like an impromptu dress interview for him to take over as defensive coordinator.
Yeah, maybe it's a signal to the public. Yeah, we're fed up with fucking Flus at the front office too, so we're gonna move him up in the booth and send you a shot over the bow and say it's gonna be White Cotton. I mean, did you see White Cotton at practice the other day? He had the blue ski mask on. He done adopted the shiesty culture.
Yeah, he had. Yeah, and see the whole shiesty. Like I said, I'm from DC. I'm known from seeing a lot of shiesties here. So the shiesty culture is nothing new to me. But that's one thing that George Pickens he brought to Dallas was the
got CD wearing them now too and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think I remember a CD wearing them. Maybe when it was in a really cold game, but not like every game. He had one on today again, I think.
Yeah. Dak is now wearing it.
Yeah, they gave one to Shotty to wear in practice the other day, and he had one on.
He said he like it.
Well, I guess all us fans can go put on our brown bags. We got 2 games left that are meaningless. I don't know if we're going to play our starters or if we're going to play the backups or what's going to happen, but we got some injuries to track this week. You know, my girl Kales will be dropping the intels and the OAT.
The practice report for the Christmas game is actually will actually come out tomorrow.
Yeah, everything's bumped up because that's a Thursday. That's this Thursday.
Yeah,
Christmas is Thursday. You've been on the naughty or the nice list, Kales?
I don't know. I'm probably more than likely purgatory. I say the nice list is so overrated.
Right. Yeah, I know. I ain't getting nothing but a lump of coal. That's all I ever get, especially with these damn Dallas Cowboys. This is embarrassing. We got to watch our team in a meaningless game on a holiday. It's just like, oh, man. But anyway, I'm going to be there watching.
Yeah, so Monday, tomorrow, I might as well say because tomorrow is Monday. It's going to be a walkthrough, basically, a walkthrough practice. Then Tuesday, they're going to have their regular practice. At 2:10, they take off to come up this way. And they arrive to the hotel, I think, at 6:15 or 6:30. But then, like I said, Thursday.
Are you meeting the Cowboys over there this time like you normally do when they show up or no?
Like I said, I don't know. Because we do a lot of our, I mentioned that earlier, like Christmas, we do like all our little last minute.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot.
Last minute running around and all this other stuff. So that's, I hate that this game is on Christmas and everything. I would probably been okay with it, like if the game was like on a Saturday or a Sunday or something like that, but that's not the case. But if you're in the DC area, there's no need to purchase a Netflix subscription because it's going to be on WUSA 9, which is the CBS channel. So the game is going to be shown locally here. So I would not spend $8.99 or whatever it is a month to Netflix when the game is going to be shown locally here. So that's if you're in the DC area, the DMV area, like certain parts of Maryland and Virginia that get that Channel 9 station. So I just hate that this game is on Christmas. When I found out like a few weeks before the schedule came out, and I got the phone call, and I was like, "Oh, this sucks."
Yeah. Well, ho ho ho! 'Tis the season, and the Dallas Cowboys delivering us fans a lump of coal once again. We're gonna get it on I guess all us fans been on the naughty list for 31 years going on now, especially to see the Eagles win the division back to back. But anyway, her name is Kels, and I'm your boy B Jizzle. This has been a post-game report here. Make sure and stay tuned in this week. We got some more practice reports. The things come out, as she said, it'll be out here tomorrow. So fast and quick. Appreciate you as always. Happy birthday early to you tomorrow, Kels. Appreciate you, everything you do here for BDG and everything you got going on. Shout out to your fan club and everybody out there in the DC Nation. And we'll see
I was saying maybe for next year, like when the practice reports come out, like if the practice report comes out normally like on Wednesdays, I will jump live on OAT and talk about the practice report and like the matchup between like the Cowboys defense versus the whatever team we're playing offense. And then on Thursday, I will flip it and do the Cowboys offense versus whatever team's defense. And then when it comes to the pregame show, we just do a recap of everything. So that's what I'm thinking about doing next year.
Okay, cool. Growing and growing. That's what I'm talking about. As always, be safe out there. Happy holidays, everybody. Be safe when you travel. We know a lot of folks going to be on the road this week. And
thank you, Sterling.
Yeah, happy early birthday to my girl, Kels. We appreciate y'all tapping in here with us. It's been a post-game report. We'll see y'all in the gym on the next episode.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.